What is up, everybody? Good afternoon. It is Monday, December 9th, 2024. Here with Rocco, the technical analysis dog. Got my Eagles gear on, so does he. Obviously, another Eagles victory. And it wasn't even really Saquon doing all the stuff. Let's get into the markets here today. If you remember what I was talking about on Friday with our big recap video, 100th anniversary, or 100th episode rather, looked like the SPY was getting a little bit tired, wanted to maybe tag 610, and then I said it was going to pull back to about 595-ish. Seems like inevitable. So we'll take a look at the charts. Some of that started to unfold today. China absolutely was the story. Ripped on more stimulus. They're going to be more accommodative, and that market absolutely ripped. I did not have a great day. Momentum really slid. We're going to take a look at the chart, and the Momentum ETF itself is actually interestingly comprised what the constituents are. It's not what you would think. So we'll take a look at that. So Momentum Communications, we were talking about communications being the belle of the ball, like borderline, you have to own it. Like the three things that are driving this market for the past year has been Bitcoin, NVIDIA, and Meta. You can look at the returns. I'm not making that up. And they're big drivers. And there's obviously other participants as well. But there's really been significant movement in those markets. So Momentum Communication down 2%. We'll take a look why. China, FXI was up 8%. We'll take a look at KWEB. That was up even more. And then new all-time high. So for IGV, which is software, XLY, consumer discretionary, that's the Amazon, Home Depot, Tesla fund. And then the Mag 7 new all-time highs for that. Again, they did reverse, a bunch of these towards the end of the day. SPY closed down 50 bips. We'll take a look at the chart. But without further ado, let's take a look at the doc. It's a nice one today. It's, pretty graphic, which, look for here. Bang, nice. This guy's, they're rowing, and there's the dragon, and China making money today. Here it is in writing. So Momentum Communication sector, the XLC, decline 2%, while China rips. That's the FXI, MCHI, A share, the other large cap A-class shares were similar returns, 8 to 9%. New all-time highs, as I said, for software, XLY, consumer discretion, and the Mag 7. All right, so without further ado, let's get to the charts. And just really fast, we'll see here. It's me again. Take a look at what I mean by some of the momentum moves. So Tesla actually closed flat. NVIDIA, down 2.5%, so not a wonderful day there. Palantir down 5%, but this thing's been the not little engine anymore, but an absolute monster up massively. So consolidation and digestion there, totally normal. Other big moves, MicroStrategy down 7%. We'll talk a little bit. It's not on the charts today, but just a quick note on Bitcoin. Everyone thought it was going to go to one whatever ASAP. I thought it was going to pull back quite a bit to like 93 is what it looked like in the charts, and then a ramp up. And just a quick check, it went to 97, or trading 97 now. It went to a low of 94. So got pretty close to my target. We'll see if it's going to ascend. I don't think it's any of my charts today, Bitcoin specifically, but I noticed it. I want to comment on it because of the big move in MicroStrategies. AMD down 5.5%, Coinbase down 10%, with the the crypto move downward, and then Meta down 1.6%. I mean, that thing's a superstar. That's a sale considering that's the actual figure up FXI, and I think we're doing too much of a teaser now. So okay, so here is the intraday chart. Here is where we open. This is December 9th, right here. Ugly day, honestly, all day, and where we traded underneath the VWAPs. The heaviest selling at 10 and 10:30. We went from 607 all the way to 605. I know it doesn't seem like a lot. Today was also anemic volume. I believe 25 million shares traded in SPY. So this is totally December, low volume, melt up conditions and all that. We're still down 50 pips. And look at this, just for someone else that says technical analysis doesn't work. You can say this was Saved by the Bell, or we went all the way to the 200 bar moving average. Technical analysis works on all different kinds of time frames. We have a rising 200 bar moving average, and here I have every bar 30 minutes long. So essentially this takes me back about 6 days of data, and we went right there to 604, which is the 200 bar moving average, and those are prices first seen. We closed there essentially on December the 3rd last week. So interesting technical analysis when you do it through different time frames. As I zoom out here, so again, not a ton to say. I'm obviously mega bullish, as you should be this close. Come on, we're at 604 for goodness sakes, and we peaked on the 6th at 609. So I still believe over the next 2 weeks or so, I mean, today's the 9th. The way I usually do, like, the 15 days on for strength, 15 days off for consolidation is a little bit mucked up a little bit because of the Santa rally. I do fear the Santa rally. It's burned me before. Just if you can't beat them, absolutely join them. And I'm glad I joined them long ago. So the 21-day exponential moving average is 597. You can see here right around there. And I do think that's going to serve as support. I do think potentially get a pullback. Again, the Fed meeting's coming up. We'll see what other catalysts. But 597 from here is $7 away, or just about a little bit more than 1%. You did half of that today. So don't be shocked. I think it could take a little bit of time, maybe a week to 2 weeks. If you see that under 600, maybe you get mass selling with the algos. I don't think it's going to do a ton, though, to about 597, and that will be your entry to buy. It may not seem like it. You might be thinking this is not on sale. I'm still paying massive premiums. I'm telling you right now, you want to get into that because I think the next target's going to be, to 610. So if you get in around 597 to 610, that's a nice, 13 point or about 2.5%, 3% rally. And with a chart like this, I don't want to fight that. Okay. We're going to be bullish. No question. I mean, unless something horrendous happens, I'm very still bullish for the next 6 months. Looking at I think what I'd said before, what was my target for, July 4th, I had it published in Business Insider. I think I'd said about 675 for SPY for, July 4. So, you're not going to, and that would be up here. Whoops. Oh, I messed up the panel. Now my day is ruined. Yeah, so that'd be up all the way here, up and away. All right. So again, I think you're going to get a slowish pullback to about 597. That's going to be your trigger to buy. In my opinion, I would buy that. Buy it. I don't know how else to say it. Okay. Again, that's going to be right around here. It's going to be I don't think you're going to clip and go under the election day levels. Okay. And again, just so you have that point of reference, the gap up, right? When Trump was announced winner, it's right here at 585. That is as horrendous things get. You buy that, and when you're done buying it, you buy some more. Okay, so that is SPY. Let's take a look at things that moved significantly today to the upside. To the upside, it was not a ton. I'm sure you noticed it. It was the almighty China. We were talking about this last week. I did not have time to check out my own video. But I said, get ready. This FXI, I'm trying to pull up the date here. I said, get ready, FXI. This is a buy, and it could have a big move. I'm pulling up my notes, November the 26th. So right here is not astrology. Okay. I thought, again, here's what the stimulus was announced, right? We entered overbought conditions in China. That's an important level to me. There's a new sentiment reflection, a new price valuation on this nation at about $29. You have 3 chances to do that there around the November 26th. I said, get ready. This is going to move to about 31 was my target. And I said, if things get really crazy, 33. I'm not Nostradamus. I'm Nostrasalamus. That's not going to stick. But so we did get to 31, and now we're at 33. Strange looking candle here. Just so you know, we did get as high as 33.74. It closed at 33.19. That is still massive. You do notice that it did not really overtake with gusto the November 7th highs. I do want to point that out. And this is still heavy, the October 7th high at 37.50. So again, my target was around 33. It did it. You could see a little bit more buying. I don't think so. Maybe a tad more, to like 33.75. But after that, just like I called it, on the 26th, about 2 weeks ago, I do think this is going to mean revert over the next 2 weeks. Be careful with that. Just because, again, the Santa Claus rally, I don't know if it's going to be a global thing, but I have been saying that there's going to be an everything freaking rally in December, and this could be a big part of it. Let me move this stupid box out of the way. So, I think this is going to about 30.60. I am long in the Jan at the monies now, in the monies by about $2-3. So a nice mover today. But we'll talk about the momentum. I did not have a great day overall because a lot of the momentum names, and these were across the gamut. So if you're in momentum, we'll get to your pain in a little bit. If you have a ticker or anything, put it in. A lot of stuff did move today. You'd be surprised for like just under the tape. Q's down 80 bips. Some stuff did move, and VXX was actually it closed up 3% today. So a little bit of a fear gauge increase here. So again, see China mean reverting to about 30.60. That would be a heck of a decline over the next 2 weeks. What could propel that? Who the heck knows? They were lying. They need more stimulus. It's going to take into our grandkids' generations. Who the hell knows? But just like we said before, there's going to be propelled for a big move. And then the announcement came last night. I'm calling for it the other way. This is going to take a little bit of time, though. That mean reversion, I think, could be, I mean, the date I have here is, right around Christmas week. So we'll see. We'll see. That goes in the face of what I'm saying for the everything rally, but we'll see. China dances to the beat of its own drum. Obviously, when you have China up 8.2%, the emerging markets complex is going to be lifted, and it was up 2%. That is a huge move. So huge that we traded outside the upper band. That hasn't happened since the end of September. Okay, so let me pull up the chart on a different time frame here on a different screen. So EM, yeah, similar. My full valuation for this was 45. On the top today, it did it. It did 45.09. I think this mean reverts to about 44, 43.75, right around there. So not as horrendous a drop. I mean, that's basically, I'm looking for basically a give back of today's gains over the next couple of weeks, kind of similar to China, but this isn't as a crazy chart. This is much more of a nice steady advance outside of the Japan Nikkei crash on August. EM's been a fine place coming off the 52-week lows on January 17th. I mean, really, by the early February, not a bad place to be. I don't think it's like the best area to be in the entire marketplace, but not a bad place to be. So that's EM up 2%. And of course, when China gets going, that has to do with, it's one of the largest places in the world, obviously, and the second largest economy. What happens? Copper growth needed to build things. Copper miners ran today in addition with this. You almost always see that. It's China, you're going to get emerging markets, and then the drop down, you get copper miners. So let's take a look at this. We haven't looked at this in a while. I'm long the gold miners. You had the junior gold miners today have a nice run today. So this looked like it got to my valuation for this was about 45. It's interesting. So this is a rising 200 moving average. It's an interesting chart. So let's take a little bit on this. So my clock started for this right here on November 12th. I'd want to see this, honestly, 6 weeks is Christmas from that day. So I want to see this recoup this 200-day moving average by Christmas Day. You still got about 2 weeks. It did a lot today. This move has, begun here at 41 all the way to 44, 10% in just a couple of weeks. What am I seeing now? I think this mean reverts to about, nothing extreme, but just about 43 even. So right about where my cursor is here over the next 2 weeks or so. And then that clock is going to continue. We did not close above the 200-day moving average. I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt just due to this nice, steady incline. That is enough for me. But it hasn't been oversold except on the Nikkei, that Nikkei crash week back in August. So overall, a strong profile. The highs are back here Memorial Day week. So, I mean, we were, shorts and a T-shirt, eating ice cream. So it was a while back here, 7 months when we put in those highs. But yeah, an important level, it has to reclaim 44 even by Christmas week, or it's just going to be a longer drag. All right, the losers. This is what I was alluding to earlier. Momentum got absolutely shellacked today. And like I said, the construction of this, I'm not going to do it right now, but the top holders in this, and they're not equal weight, but it's not very top heavy either. It's Walmart and JP Morgan Chase, as well as NVIDIA. So yeah, obviously NVIDIA's, everyone's cracked out on, but Walmart consumer staple, which is hitting all-time highs. JP Morgan Chase, obviously in financial strong. And then the fourth holder is Broadcom. So obviously it is in that space, but it's very, it's pretty diversified. So momentum, this thing's just been a runaway train. Look at this, same exact chart, right? So you had the Nikkei crash. Obviously, these names were going to take a hit, and this hit 52-week or all-time highs, I'm pretty sure. Let me just make sure if I'm speaking falsely. Nope, all-time highs. So it hit all-time high. When was this? Tuesday, right there. I couldn't see it. It's hard to see here. There we go. So December 6th, 3 days ago at 218. I'm rounding. And it did, like I said, when the market were calling for givebacks or consolidation, digestion periods, sometimes it does the pullback to the 20-day moving average over 2 weeks. Sometimes it does it in one session. This was borderline outside the upper Bollinger Band, and we've gone to below the 20-day moving average in one session. So pretty crazy. And just, I mean, you probably know what I'm going to say, but my full valuation target for this was 219. It got to 218, so pretty close. And then I said it was going to pull back, or I looking at the chart here, I thought it would take around 2 weeks to get to 213. It did in one day. Now what? I see a lot of back and filling. So maybe tomorrow it gets to 215. Actually, this is a pretty ugly bar. So it could go a little bit lower, maybe to 211, 210, goes back up to 215, and so on and so forth. But right around 213 is where I do believe this lives. All right, so that's momentum. This was a pretty ugly day for momentum. Trying to find a last time had ugly bars like this. I mean, this was an ugly day back here, September 3rd, right around Labor Day. Yeah, this was one of the uglier days in a while for momentum. So, and obviously a lot of people hold momentum type carry trades. So I think today was probably not as friendly a day for many folks. All right, let's look at XLC. We're highlighting this on Friday, saying you have to own, so you get away with owning mega cap tech, but XLC has really been pushing it. And a lot of it's because of Meta. I haven't really, really dived into the Google chart. It's been a lot of Meta. Things trading over 600, I believe. So again, very similar. Obviously, momentum, communication, momentum. Finkel, Einhorn, Finkel. So here, all-time highs on the Friday, hitting 101. And what did we say when we were looking at it on Friday? We had said that my full target could have another day or two, but right around 100 or par. In fixed income speak, was right on my valuation, and I saw a pullback to about 98. It's at 99 now. I'm rounding up, I'm rounding in terms of handles. So right here, that's an ugly looking candle. Maybe you have some more selling, but I don't think it takes you far below 98. If it does, buy that thing up. All right, and then another leader. Again, they're rotating out of winners today. This is what kind of is comforting me. If you had like a bad day today, it's because those things were ripping today. So momentum, the names that I was just telling you, the constituency of them, the top holdings, are at all-time highs. Communications got sold off today, 2%. It was on all-time highs less than 72 hours ago. And then this one, they sold it off pretty aggressively today. They called the United Healthcare guy. United Healthcare bucked this trend. It was up several percent, 5% or something like that. Good. About catching a killer. Down 1.8% was the area. So this didn't hit all-time highs 3 days ago. This did it on the 27th, so right around that Thanksgiving week. It hit 62.5 essentially, and now it's been pulling back all the way to, as you can see here, to 59. This has been the absolute. Look at this chart. I mean, this is just technical analysis 101. Oversold one time, April 17th. And not like, look at the Japan Nikkei crash. Where is that? Right here. You have to even look for it. Still holding it with gusto. Absolutely sensational chart. This to me is nearing a buy. I would love if it got a little bit cheaper to about 58.5. That's being a little bit greedy because I think anything under 60 is a sale. And my target is this is heading back towards 62. So just within a rock's throw of new all-time high. So insurance, if you're in it, you haven't had a great 2 weeks. But I think that, again, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. It's a little bit of art and science. This is nearing right around the stabilization point. Strong chart. It typically does buck. I mean, when it goes below 50 RSI, it can get to, especially with this winter profile, to about 35, 40. We've already addressed that. It doesn't get oversold. So right now it's at a 45. Potentially has a little bit more to go, but I don't think a ton more. And then this is a slower mover. So in terms of risk reward, as I said, I mean, 58.5. I mean, literally maybe 1 point of downside and then upside 3. So those are good risk rewards. All right, top 3 gainers of the past 5 days. How are we doing on time here? 19 minutos. All right. KWEB, the best gain over the past 5 days. Obviously, a lot of this was today. It's up 10% in the past 5 days. And how much is it today? 10. So everything came from today's gains. But that's how it goes. So KWEB, to be specific, similar to what I said with FXI, my target for this was 33. It's at 34, outside the upper band. I see a bit of a mean reversion for this coming down to 31. This has got some volatility now, increasing to it by quite a bit because, again, if I'm calling for a pullback to 31 and we're trading 34, that's a 10% drop off, essentially giving back everything we gained today. So we'll see. I still think it'll happen over the course of 2 weeks. Again, I'm just reading charts, no nonsense BS narrative, just like we called for FXI to have a bit of a rip. I literally watched the video. It was the 26th, right around the Thanksgiving time. Said this is going to move like 5-7%. It's going to be quite a move. And we got it. So the same thing, probably just people calling BS on China in 2 weeks or so. But I do see this pulling back. This has come a little bit too far. It might have another day or two of animal spirits bullishness, but I do see us pulling back to 31 over the next 2 weeks or so. All right, GDXJ, the gold miner juniors had a nice day. So in the past 5 days I'm looking at here, right? So KWEB, the leader. I know it seems like financial engineering because all today's gains. This one's sort of similar. The gold miner juniors have been on a nice run. Today up 4%. The past 5 days up 5.6. Let me see, because this is a little bit different from just saying Asia is going to pull back. So to me, I think this was kind of like the maybe the exclamation point for this part of the run. Great looking chart. Obviously, I'm in the GDX calls for Jan, I believe. Yeah, I think it's January. Yeah, I see this falling back to about 48, and the volatility picks up 46. But this 200-day moving average will hold. It has since March 6th. So a very smart area. The 52-week highs came on October 22nd at $56 essentially, and here we are at 49. I had a target of this on $51. This morning it hit 50 half, and I think that might be it. I'm curious to see what it does tomorrow. You also have silver and a lot of the other metals, trading well. It's just a rotation here. When you have all-time highs in the Mag 7, China's ripping, and there's no. It's healthy signs of a bull market. I don't think that the rug is going to get pulled from us anytime soon, unless you put all your money in Hawk to meme coins. I think she's still sleeping. So yeah, 200-day moving average, a nice chart. Gold miner juniors. If you're looking for an entry point, give it about a week or two. I think you want to get in at 46 to 48. That'd be really, really nice. Really, really great risk reward. All right, and then Mexico up 4% in the past 5 days, the third biggest gainer. So we've been saying this is a horrendous chart, and when it gets too far up, you want to sell it. My level to put things to it was 53.25 for it to sell. Today we got to 52.96. We'll call it 53. Excuse me. I'm going to watch this one because if we do get a little bit of decline, a little bit of fear is in terms of the rotation rally. I don't think they're just buying semis anymore. You saw that today get reversed a little bit. But my target for this was 53. I like selling 53 to at least down to 51. And I think this looks so heavy with no reason to buy since Memorial Day due to their their election horrendous fallout that they had in early June. I think it's actually potentially gets to $48. So 48 from 52 is a massive, a great, 10% gainer to the downside. I'm, kind of looking for shorts. Also be careful because of the overall, read the room overall sentiment. But again, market is positioning. So I'm going to see how this one trades tomorrow. And I may put in like a January put spread on it, maybe like a 51 puts EWW Jan. All right, that's something I'm going to look for. Let me see how it trades tomorrow. I was doing like the Fallon thank you notes. All right, let's see. Dubs. I just had tacos for lunch too. EWW sell tomorrow. Well, watch tomorrow. All right, and I'll put tomorrow, December 10th. Because I have chicken scratch for Rand writing. All right, so those were the gainers of the past 5 days. Whenever you see a loser like that, rip that much in 5 days from 49 to 52, kind of calls for concern, kind of like a dead cat bounce. So we'll see. It's not getting near that. And again, in terms of the whole run, I think it's begun about 2 weeks ago. It started here. It's going to get heavy here. And I'm actually almost surprised it got above 51. I think it's going to mean revert there soon. All right, as we speed up here, top 3 losers of the past 5 days. South Korea down 5%. What did it do today? Down 2.33%. So again, some nations are not trading well. It's not just Argentina, U.S. and day hitting all new all-time highs. You see Mexico, you see South Korea really getting shellacked. So the 52-week low came on the 3rd. Remember, we thought this was pretty ugly candle. We thought this was going to hold this 52.67, but look at this gap down today and an ugly close down 2.3%. So I don't like this area. I'd rather be a seller than buyer, obviously. Looks like it does want to head towards this 52 handle. Again, all the volume was when the martial law was declared on the 3rd last Tuesday. A lot of volume, the most in the year. Pretty much people like trade EWI, and then they got out of it after that. But ugly candle, surprising that it's happening like that. Ugly, I thought it was going to get a little bit more of a move towards 56. Some, the gens potentially just trying to bet on some upside on a trash performing name, but it never even did that. It just got to 56. And it is a difference between 56 and 57. It's a point. And then it went down immediately to 53.60. So not a good looking chart. I foresee more weakness, but it's a little bit stretched to get short here. All right, uranium. This pooped on my portfolio today, down 4.5% today, and also for the past 5 days. So this, or the top 3 of the past 5 days, it's up here as well. An ugly candle down 4.5% today. Let me see where this is going. I think it's going to base right around here. It could potentially, just because the volatility of the name, could get to the 200-day moving average, which is 29.20. That would not shock me due to the bar, the ugliness of the bar today. But I do think maybe it stops right around 29.75, something like that. And I do foresee this getting to about 31.75, essentially erasing today in about the next 2 to 3 weeks. So still long. And I basically see us traversing and getting back to where we were Friday's close in about 2 weeks. So some heavy lifting for that. And lastly, XOP, top 3 losers of the past 5 days. So it's South Korea, uranium, and XOP. It's actually up today, up 1%, but it's down 4% in the past 5 days. So this one, I think it's starting to base here. I had thought this was going to go as low as 136. What did it actually get to? 135 on the 6th, on Friday, okay? And I thought it was going to base right around 136. And then, obviously, what happened in Syria pushed the energy complex up. Oil, whenever something, Mideast happens, that gets flared up. This looks like an oopsie. The majority of the time spent since August, the past 4 months, has been under the 200-day moving average. Could it be basing and trying to make a move upwards? Yeah, what I think is going to happen is we get a move towards this. The 200-day moving average is at 143. I think we get to 141 over the next 2 weeks or so. And then potentially it is magnetized to that 143 level. If things get hella bullish, it gets to 145, and that's about it. And that would be your sell signal. I don't love the chart. All right, so top 3 absolute trades of the past 5 days. Obviously, a lot of them was from today, but it's good to know where the motions of the ocean is going, if you will. Long KWEB, long gold miner juniors, short South Korea. Those have legs, as it seems for right now. Okie dokie. Let me think. Some programming stuff. Next week will not be here, so no videos. Going on a vacation, a little pre-Christmas vacation, which I almost never do. And then also we'll be writing for Chart Advisor again. I don't know why I just did like this. I feel like I should be kicking my feet. We'll be writing for Chart Advisor in January. We'll also be leading an in-person CMT event in New York City in January. If you're in the New York area, come on out, have some drinks, and watch me do this. And the other thing is, what's something else? Chart Advisor, CMT. I don't know. It'll come to me. Oh, and the webinar for CMT, I'm leading that as well in January. I will post the date and things like that. And you can, of course, always add me on whether it be LinkedIn or X or YouTube. All right. So that is it. And the next video will be, I think, Wednesday, unless otherwise noted. Peace.